Hello, hello. Is it recording? Oh, is it recording? Oh, it's recording. Welcome back. Rival Recap Show. We talk Jones Club football all day, all the time. It's a little bit of a different look here. It's a little bit of a different timing on the episode this week. The fucking Mets had me all crumbled and messy this week, and it was wonderful. It was beautiful. It was amazing. That team, those boys, that's a fun group. You know what we are here at the Rival Recap Show? We're here to talk Jones Club football all day, all the time. One last thing though, I'm going to Game 4 of the NLCS. Cannot fucking wait. Spencer, maybe you'll be there too. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah. Long 20. The long 20 still exists. John fucking Mopey Boy, fucking Paw Paw, Buggy, fucking Sedano. Yeah, it exists, John. Just another confirmation that you don't tune in. So maybe you'll tune in this week for your first fucking win. But yeah, Joe has to pay Eric $20 for Brian Thomas 85-yard touchdown. Joe, you might not know this because this was in the Instagram chatter, but Kevin Lamb proposed this post that he had found that we roll the long 20 money into a 12-leg parlay at the benefit of the league whenever it hits, if it ever hits. There was something that said they won like 20 grand and they were like, we've been doing this for years, and that made all the other losses worth it or something like that. So if Eric, who already said he would, chooses to take his long 20 money and invest it into a 12-leg parlay chosen by I don't know who, I'm cool with it. I don't think there's any rule there. That's Eric's choice. The long 20, the winner decides to do that. And with that, we got two more quick things I want to say before I get into the matchups. I want to have some NFL notes, not to be confused with Narduli notes, and then I want to have a little story time at the end. We're gonna have a story of the week, guys. I'm gonna try and tell you guys some stories from that have occurred to me that involve other league members, and feel free to submit your own. Maybe I can have you guys submit your own, because you know what, this show it's just me sitting up there going, oh, the same like 10 buzzwords every week talking about the matchups. Oh, this guy's good, oh, mid, oh, bad, blah blah blah. It's getting a little stale from my end. When it's getting stale from my end, I can't even imagine what it's like on your end. So a couple new things, and I want to get more community involvement. So like, listen, I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek to the story. It's about golf, all right? It's about golf, and it's a fucking fun one. And you know what? It got me thinking, like, if you guys have any fun golf stories or any fun stories in general that you wanted to share with the boys, send them in. Here's the platform. Why not? Maybe Kevin Lamb wants to detail his hole in one. Maybe Kevin Lamb wants to detail his consent. Never mind. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's opportunity here. John Sedano's always traveling around playing golf, doing all these things. He's got these businesses up his ass. Maybe he wants to share a little bit. Listen, guys, just some ideas, just some thoughts, trying to spice it up here over at the Rival Recap Show, because not something I ever want to end. But if I'm not enjoying it or it just feels bad, then fuck it. So we're trying to make a little comeback here in week 5, a little bit different of an episode, a little bit extra stuff, quick NFL notes. I will say I love that black Lions jersey from like 2 weeks ago. I meant to mention it, maybe it was even 3 weeks ago. I meant to mention it, and I really enjoyed it because like the Lions have cool colors, silver, light blue, whatever. But I also always feel like that's not like a lion. Like, I don't know. Like, the black ones were like fucking fierce. Like, I thought that was really cool. Been really enjoying the helmets. Love the more freedom that they have with the helmets this year. I've been seeing some really cool ones. There was one that really stuck out to me that I'm blanking so hard on, but that's okay. One of the only jerseys I really haven't liked has been like the Giants. Like, let's be honest, that one was horrible. And that Thursday night shootout last week, Kirk Cousins unrostered in our league last week, and the dude threw 500 yards. Whew. Remember when he passed through my roster? Gosh, wish I held on to that guy. But that's all I got for some couple NFL notes. Just a few things pointing out. It's just some thoughts in my mind on Sunday, and I wanted to pass them along. And now let's get into the matchups. The Tortugas. The Tortugas, 97.84. Not a great week. Taken down by DC Darkness Retreat and Charlie, 105. Yeah, it's just like, not that good. If you didn't get that overtime run, like, this would be like 10 points. Akers, I'm happy with, considering Lazard, fine, sure. That's the Lazard stat line right there, like 30 yards and a touchdown. Would love a little more at it. JSN, Mandrews finally having something. Needed it on Goddard's bye week, but we really came down to his groupie getting 1 point on Monday Night Football. I had like a 6-point lead, and it was Kelsey versus groupie, and Kelsey hasn't put up 10 points yet, has he? Like 6, 1, 7, okay, 15. All right, back-to-back weeks, because now that Rashee Rice is now hurt and whatever, it's we might start to see the return of Travis Kelce, and I'm sure Charlie loves to see that. Quick till it talks about Charlie's team. Garrett Wilson had a phenomenal game, even though the Jets could not pull it out against the Vikings. The Vikings are a good team. I think we can just accept that. They have a very good defense, but gosh, the Jets didn't look sharp. Now we got Salah out the door. I don't know what the other 3 Jets fans truly feel about that, but I personally am, I'm not as in the weeds as the other 3, but I just feel like he didn't have the authority of a head coach. I don't know. He's just like a little too chill sometimes. Kind of just a little bit too much of one of the guys, but maybe I'm wrong. And wish him the best. He'll probably be a great defensive coordinator somewhere else. So hopefully he just doesn't go in division or something like that. But Charlie, I won't say too much more about your team other than Ramondre. Ramondre, with all this talk of, he might be benched. He's going to be RB2 behind Antonio Gibson. Throws up 19 points, puts that to bed. Charlie, 2-3, escaping that 1-4 hole that he could have potentially been in, and he's right in the thick of it. Next one, 174-97. Kevin Lamb, the father figures. This is a boomer bust team. This team is explosive. Great Jones on the other side suffers his first loss of the season. Interestingly enough, the other 4-0 guy also suffered his first loss of the season and also didn't put up 100 points. So they came back to regression to the mean a little bit. Only 3 guys didn't put up 100 points, and I am the third. But nonetheless, Ian and Joe obviously are in full control of this season, and they're steering the ship, but Kevin Lamb is ready to upset that a little bit. 174, Darnell Mooney 31, Jamar Chase always smacks around the Ravens, 41 points. I've seen that dude have some crazy touchdowns, so that's not a huge surprise. Bowers beast, DJ Moore beast. Like, he has Achane going for 2.7, gets concussed. He has Josh Allen going for 14, and he drops 174. Guys, that's a scary, underrated little 2-3 team right there. Hopefully Achane's isn't that serious for Kevin's point of view, but from my point of view, I hope it's really serious. No, it's horrible. I have Mostert. Ian picking up 2 Qs on his running backs. Lamar with the only one having a performance of note. Jawan Jennings slow down. George Pickens. Do you guys see George Pickens is getting investigated by the NFL? Investigating might be a strong word, but like his eye blacks had always fucking open, so he's probably going to get fined. I can't imagine anything beyond that, but just a little extra tidbit. Ian's just still been without A.J. Brown. He might have him back next week. Jacoby Myers picking up a Q, but you have to imagine his stock is going to skyrocket if Devontae Adams inevitably leaves. And Kevin Lamb over here sitting on Nick Chubb and a couple other little assets here. So Kevin's a team to watch. Douchey Dutchman, Tony Murr, 124-116 over the Phoenix Fire. Wow. Okay. Good little matchup. Pretty good performances from each guy. The Lynch unfortunately falls to 1-4 after putting up 116. I mean, 116 is not phenomenal, but it's good. It's fine. Your team performed to an extent, right? But 124, 116 just quite simply was not enough. Tony, I wish I got to tune into his stream the other night. Guys, if you're not tuning into Tony's streams, what are you doing? But I did unfortunately miss the one the other night. I couldn't watch it, but I got to see the little extra video. He started a new Instagram account, so make sure you're following that. But we'll talk about the matchup real quick. Jaden Daniels continues to do pretty well. I mean, they're the highest scoring offense in the NFL right now. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? The Washington Commanders. And they come up against the second highest scoring offense in the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens, this weekend. I'll be there. Ian, of course, will be there. Charlie will be there. Tony will be there. And Mike's best friend, Sean Conboy, will be there. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Tony just across the board just gets 16, 13, 15, 11, 12, 13, 16. 29 of his kicker defense. Everyone did their job, except for Jones. But Lynch Baker continues to be great. Mike Evans is great. That's a good stack he's got going. He's got Joe Burrow sitting on the bench. I want Joe Burrow so bad, but that's probably just not going to happen because I'm an ass. Would have loved more to Keenan Allen and Cortland Sutton. I'll tell you that much, Mr. Lynch. But nonetheless, your team's in solid shape, and you're what are you doing looking at Ayuk? What are you doing looking at Ayuk? Is there a trade brewing? Is there a trade brewing? I'll say the trades have slowed down a lot since Mr. Rast. I'll call it just the whole Rast thing. I think Charlie and Johnny's trade was the only other one since, and I haven't heard any chatter this week. I will say no one's really reaching out. It's gotten quiet. Maybe you guys are all talking amongst yourselves, but not a lot on my end. And we're talking about the guy who has Brandon Ayuk, 131 from Yak United to 95. The little Joeys, as I mentioned earlier, suffered their first loss on the week. And Joe's one of those guys that's getting the injury bug a little bit. He's got Pacheco and Neighbors. He had Gibbs and Hopkins on bye, so Injuries stacked with the buys, it can really just derail a week. But Joe's fine. He's 4-1. He picks up Tracy, who has 129 rushing yards. That's pretty cool because he had him, he dropped him, he just gets him right back and throws him into his starting lineup when Singletary wasn't playing. Other side, though, the guy who won, the guy who we should be talking about, doesn't even have a great one out of DK. Deontay has a Q 5.9, doesn't matter. He gets 26 out of kicker defense. Brandon Ayuk steps up 147 receiving yards, finally taking that mantle from fucking Jawan Jennings. Cook, I think he just didn't practice yet yesterday. I don't know how serious that is. I think DeAndre Swift has been a great surprise as to how he's performed thus far this season. And you like Geno Smith, solid stuff. Christian 3-2, a force at 3-2 in my opinion, a force. Next one, Paul. He's not as mopey. He's still in 14th place. He's got the Spencer 13th place in front of him, but he puts up 130 to 122. Spencer a little bit unlucky in this one. I looked at it. I think Spencer would be higher than like 8 other guys in the league, and unfortunately he takes a loss in a early but much needed win game. 1-4 is a little bit of a tough hole, but there's a handful of guys in there, so there's no reason anyone can't get out of it quickly. But yeah, I mean, Breece Hall 2 weeks in a row not having the greatest games. Drake London on 33 on that Thursday night. He had to be feeling good. They had the kicker matchup going 17-16 on that, all in that Thursday night game. Pretty nuts. Ravens D was a bit of a disappointment for sure. But Johnny, the guy getting his first win, T. Higgins beast, Tyler Kraft beast. Shaheed had that long touchdown to clinch it in the Monday night game. And that was all John needed. I mean, these two guys he got from Charlie didn't do too much, but John moves on. Deshaun Watson ain't it, I'll tell you that much. Maybe Kirk Cousins is, and then he can get some of these buys. Oh, he's got hurt, so he probably isn't super concerned about it. But 1-4, team that's not out of it by any means. It's only 5 weeks. We got 9 more of these damn things. The Crips versus the hard money Maserati. Eric Olsen 4-1, second place. Honestly, I didn't realize that. 3 in a row. John, the Rast, 108. 108 ain't bad. Not good. Didn't start a tight end because of his roster formation. That's pretty miserable. But would he have won? No, not likely. Not likely. John. Eric. Okay, man, whatever. Nice. I saw someone call him Ken Walker. I don't know how I felt about it. It's just such a Ken. Tyreek, Brian Thomas, 85-yard touchdown, the long 20 winner, and the guy who might have won you this week. Deebo Samuel only thrown up 3 yards. Was that his first game back? Is that a first game Deebo return? Maybe he was a little slow to get incorporated. No, he played last week. He only missed 1 game. Wild. Feels like he's missed like half of them. But nonetheless, Eric is kind of cruising, a little bit under the radar. Oh, the last matchup of the week, the heartbreaker. But this man's on his honeymoon, all right? Does he care that Chris Olave couldn't get 7 points that he needed on Monday Night Football to take down Ortiz? It might have been like 6.5. Does he really care? It's actually 5.5, 5.8 or something. He cares a little bit. He doesn't like to lose to Ortiz, but he's probably having a hell of a time on his honeymoon. I won't talk too much. Nico Collins. He loses Nico Collins to IR, and if that happens, thankfully he's 3-2, and he's a savvy owner. He'll figure it out. James is happy. James squeaks out a win in a game he probably did not think he was going to, especially going into that Monday night game. And kind of like Tony, it's kind of like everyone just kind of did their job. He would have loved a little more out of Ertz, and then Tony had more of a kicker defense. That's just using that comparison. Tank Bigsby, 26 points on his bench. Oh boy, is Tank Bigsby about to come alive? Is he going to usurp Etienne? I see Ian's been benching Etienne by choice. That's crazy. Wasn't he like his 2nd or 3rd round pick? Like, I mean, I think it's the right choice, but it's crazy nonetheless. And I am just shocked. But guys, that's the matchups. I want to tell you guys a little golf story about a little friend of ours here. I really thought I was just going to be able to pull up a picture of Ortiz, no problems. Does this guy not have LinkedIn? Like, wouldn't that come up? That is like JamesOrtiz.co. All right. Anyway, guys, the story. We're playing. Ortiz, Carol, and I are playing this course called Renditions down in about like an hour south of us in Maryland. It's anyone who doesn't know, it's just like famous. It's remakes of all famous holes, various courses. We're playing, having a pretty good day. It's nice. Kind of backed up, very backed up. Honestly, once you got to the three Augusta holes, it was like everyone just decided to take fucking 25 minutes per hole. But we're on 14. It's getting dark. This group of four pulls up behind us. They're like maybe like 2 years younger than us, I would say. And they challenge us to a scramble. They challenge us three to play them four in a scramble on one hole because they're like, we're just going home after this. They're like, we just put four in the water. The hole before was the island hole at Sawgrass. We also put them all in the water. So we're like, yeah, let's play. We tee off first. Kevin, who's been mashing his driver all day, steps up, hits it like absolute dog shit. James, who's been pretty good off the tee all day, hits it like pretty bad too. I step up pretty bad off the tee all day, hit it like, I don't know, 230-ish down the middle. Solid. We're happy with it. That's what we're going to use. Kevin pulls up. We get a fourth shot because we only have three men. Kevin goes like pretty far right, so we use mine. They hit two of them were ass. One of them was kind of down the middle, and the kid who challenged us absolutely nukes it, probably like 280, 290 down the left side of the fairway, or at least it appears. Turns out there's a little stream over there, and it landed right in it. So we're up, we're hitting. They had to use the kid who fell short of mine, we go first because they were taking so fucking long looking for the stream. It's getting dark. We're like, we're just gonna go. I hit it like left a little short. Kevin hits it right a little long to the right. James hits it right a little long. But then we get our fourth shot and we're like, all right, well, obviously Ortiz is taking. Kevin was like, you want me to take it? And I was just like, no. Has anyone seen James Ortiz hit an iron? And you've seen myself and Kevin hit an iron. There's no choice. James puts it to 6 feet. We make the birdie, win the hole, up $40. They're not happy with that. They want to go double or nothing. Play the next hole. Kevin hits it probably like, I don't know, 240 on the right. Okay, fine. James walks up, probably hits like 275 down the middle with his driver, which he never does, but he fucking should. I don't even need to hit. There's no fucking reason. Guys. It's just pointless. They go up, they hit a few. Their ball ends up getting plugged in the fairway. So we just gave them a free drop because we knew where it was, and then they end up finding it like 5 feet away, 10 minutes later, whatever. Don't really care. So we're hitting our second shot, and James just steps up and puts it to probably 12 feet again. And it was like a weird pin location. We two-putt par. They bogey. Fuck yeah. We're up $80. And they're like double, and they're like, we want it again. So we just did another hole for a total of $40, and it was a par 3. And I'm telling you, it is pitch black. Like, I tee off, no idea where it goes. James and Kevin tee off. We think they're kind of near the green. No idea. They all tee off. 3 of them put it in the woods, and 1 kid hit it 10 feet. They had to play the one that went 10 feet, and then they cut it like kind of near the green. I don't know. Be all end all, we won all 3 holes, and it was fucking electric, and the kid Venmoed me $120. I wanted to pass that along, and I wanted to give props to James where props are due. And with that, fellas, that's the episode. Hope you like it. Hope the screen share was a little something different. Have a wonderful week. Let's have good Thursday Night Football. Let's go Mets. And have a great one, guys.